Hey, can you do me a favor and say like testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, something like that?
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
All on my row, all on my row.
My name's Carrie Barrick.
My name is Madeline Swift.
My name is Kevin Mitchner.
I'm Narissa Graydon.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Manildi.
Mr. Daniel Gruber.
My name is Grant Hewitt. I teach Math 3, Pre-Calculus, and Financial Algebra.
I teach English 1, English 1 Accelerated, and AP Lit and Composition.
I teach AP Biology and General Biology.
I am currently teaching Math 2, which is second year high school level math, AP Calculus AB, which is first semester college level calculus, and AP Calculus BC, which is second semester college level calculus.
I teach British literature, so that's seniors, and then accelerated world literature, which is 10th grade.
I teach Earth and Space Science, Physics, and AP Physics at the moment.
I teach AP Research. I teach World History. I teach AP Geography. I teach AP European, and I also have Academic Credit Recovery Lab.
And what are some of your hobbies and things that you like to do in your free time?
I like to run.
My hobbies include surfing.
I like to hike.
In my free time, I like to go camping.
I do play video games, which is pretty expected, I think, out of me.
I like to ride dirt bikes.
Number one is probably spending time with my family.
Would you say that your style of teaching is pretty conventional, or would you say that it's really individual to you?
I think it's pretty individual to me. I definitely feel I've made some progress, and that I feel like that I can do a much better job being that teacher for the whole person, for the whole student.
Oh, it's definitely individual to me. It's very non-conventional. I'm not much of a disciplinarian. I try to teach them like young adults.
I think it's a mix. You know, I think I teach pretty traditionally, except for maybe my lecture style. I feel like I engage the audience. I don't just talk, I try to make it more of a conversation.
I would say my style of teaching is very unique to me. Working towards your strengths is the way you end up being an effective teacher and having a lot of fun while you're teaching.
I don't think my style of teaching is too conventional. I really like to have fun myself. So if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do the job.
Good question. I think probably a bit of both, but I think that it's pretty organic in the sense that I kind of just let it unfold in each individual class each year.
With respect to each class that you teach, would you say that, in your own opinion, that your grading policies are strict, moderate, or relaxed?
I would say moderate, and after COVID, a little bit more relaxed. I think over the years, it's gone from strict to more moderate / relaxed, because I've just realized that not everyone can get everything done at the same time on the same date. And just allowing for more mistakes and more room for individual students over the years.
I like to think of myself as a very challenging teacher, and I like to think the class is going to make my students think, and it's going to be challenging and push their potential. At the same time, I feel that I have very reasonable grading policies, that I'm very flexible. Physics and science in particular can be very hard, and if I'm pushing my students to be their best, I think I need to be flexible in how I allow them to get the work into me.
This year in particular, I think they're very relaxed. I think I feel like in general in my career, I started off really strict, and I've just gotten more relaxed as the years have gone.
What do you say has changed in you as a teacher versus now and when you first started teaching?
That's a great question. I feel like in the beginning of my career, I felt like I think I thought I was more important than I was, because it's not so much about me, it's about the student and the family in which they come from. I think that's it's way more influential than the teacher. The teacher really, I think, just needs to provide an opportunity for the kid to learn, and then after that, it's kind of up to the kid and their family.
As far as policies, I like to give the impression that I'm very strict. I like students' grades to reflect their mastery of the content, not their inability to get things in on time. And I think I benefited a lot from having two daughters go through high school fairly recently. And I saw how difficult it is when they're overloaded with homework and they're trying to do activities, and we like to sit down, and have dinner, and so I'm flexible because I think kids have as busy a life as I do, and I don't want to kill them with stress. I want them to have fun as much as possible.
I think I would definitely be on the relaxed side of grading policies. I do really try to develop character when I am grading, so I like to have conversations with students. I will always take in late work. That's something I'll always accept. However, when I take in late work, I want to have a conversation with people about how we can improve it, or I still have that standard of what your work needs to be before I'm going to regrade it.
I am pretty lenient, I think, overall in terms of late work. If students have personal issues, whether they're health issues or mental health issues, I try to be considerate of that. I tend not to say no if students feel like they need extra time. I don't have time limits to my tests, so students can always take as much time as they need. So in a lot of those ways that where there's personal issues involved, I try to be as lenient as possible, but I also do pretty strictly hold to the expectations of students need to demonstrate that they can do math.
Do you feel, as a teacher at Aptos High, and has been a teacher at Aptos High for a number of years, that currently the policies that are put in place by administration or what have you prepare kids for success in and outside of the classroom?
I think there's some, I think that's kind of a mixed bag. I definitely think there's some policies that are beneficial and others that maybe aren't working as well as we would hope. But to be perfectly honest, I've said for many years that when policies upset me, and I won't mention anything specifically, but when things happen outside of my classroom that I feel like maybe aren't the best, I just remember and always tell myself that I can only control what happens within these four walls. I can only control what happens in my classroom. I work on making sure I have as much of a positive impact in the time I have with the students in my classroom, give students a safe place to be outside of class if they need to be here, if they need somewhere to be during lunch or before school, and try to have as much of a positive impact for the students within their school day and also hopefully beyond once they leave this place as I can.
I feel like I try to stay with my little world in this classroom and not get too involved in the bureaucracy and the layers above me, because I just get a little bit frustrated.
Yes, I think the opportunity's there. I can definitely say with confidence that that we can prepare you. You will be prepared, but you will get out of it what you put into it.
That's a big blanket you're throwing over there. Policies, just, do I think education is preparing people for the outside? Well,
This is our final question. As a teacher, what piece of advice would you give a student that wants to be successful in and outside of the classroom and in life in general?
oh boy, there's a lot of stuff. Accept help, but give help. You offer it and you go out there. It's about people. It's not about money. It's not about anything else. It's about how you relate to people.
But I always had this feeling that I wasn't living up to something that I knew I could do. And it kind of nagged at me a lot. You have to face the nagging. Otherwise, it just kind of haunts you. I would say to somebody, to be successful, you have to build successes along the way. And you have to deal with the first thing that's in front of you, that's the block, and you have to fight for it. You have to fight for the people around you to help you through that block, but you also have to fight for it yourself.
Not to worry about expectations. So I think a lot of times kids are so worried about meeting that initial expectation of I have to get the A right now, or I have to go to college right after school, or I have to get a job. I was really concerned with that when I was in high school and in college. And I really want kids to know that the day's gonna start and the day's gonna end. Life is going to continue. And as long as you are making effort to put in any type of energy towards making yourself happy, you're doing okay.
It's just work hard. Find something you really enjoy. You're bound to be successful.
I think there's so much more to life than education. And I think that getting an education and getting a degree, it's like the most commonly accepted piece of paper probably in America. So it's worth doing, but I think not getting so focused on your education that you lose sight of all these other pieces of life that really matter. And just kind of getting to know who you are and your priorities and what's important in life, and not putting education, success, or career as number one.
Take advantage of every day and do your best in every moment that you can. And then you won't always have great moments, but if you're aware of it and you just make an effort to do your best in each moment and make the most of your time here, then that's the best you can do.
Final question for today. As a teacher, what piece of advice would you give to a student that wants to be successful in the classroom and in life?
Just follow your dreams. Have faith in yourself, work hard, and just see what happens.
Okay,
I just got
here we
really
go.
nervous.